She walked in and the room froze. The kind of silence that doesn't ask for attention but commands it. Around her neck wasn't just jewelry, it was a declaration of power. A $3 million masterpiece that didn't just glitter, it roared in diamonds. In one breathtaking entrance, Lauren Sánchez Bezos shifted from being the partner of the richest man alive to becoming the story herself. One necklace. One night. One transformation that instantly set Hollywood and the billionaire elite whispering. At the Kering Foundation dinner in New York, all the flashbulbs, all the chatter, every half-distracted conversation fell quiet. Because she hadn't entered as simply Jeff Bezos' fiancée in a golden gown. She arrived as a force carrying something that seemed larger than fashion itself. Around her neck lay a diamond creation so commanding it seemed to hold the entire room hostage. This was more than a necklace. It was a weapon in the unspoken war of wealth, glamour, and influence. Designed by jeweler Summer Hale, the piece carried a price tag of roughly $3 million. But its real weight was never about money. Its weight came from what it symbolized, the message it sent, the power it gave Lauren in that moment. 55 carats in total, every stone catching and bending light until it moved like liquid fire. Even the most seasoned observers, people who had seen fortunes worn as fashion, stood speechless. This necklace didn't demand attention. It commanded it, sealing Lauren's place at the intersection of wealth, scandal, style, and influence. The diamonds weren't still. With every subtle movement she made, they danced, creating a rhythm that hypnotized. Each gem had been chosen for absolute perfection, cut clarity, brilliance, so precise that the necklace seemed alive, as if breathing with its own pulse. At its heart lay the centerpiece, an 18-carat flawless oval-cut diamond sourced from South Africa's legendary Cullinan mine, the same earth that gave the world jewels fit for kings and queens. It wasn't a stone, it was a galaxy frozen in crystal. Summer Hale spent months obsessing over every detail. His Beverly Hills workshop became a shrine to precision. Each stone was studied under magnification. Each clasp adjusted, rest perfected. The central diamond was wrapped in cascades of smaller stones engineered to flow like falling starlight. The foundation was sculpted from 18-carat white gold, with hints of yellow gold hidden in the details visible, only to those who looked closely, a secret whisper of luxury. Even the clasp was reinvented, invisible, replaced with a magnetic system that allowed the necklace to exist as pure art without distraction. The diamond's story was global. Discovered 2 years earlier, the rough stone was carved out of the Cullinan mine, examined by De Beers, then auctioned to a private dealer. From there, Hale secured it at a staggering premium, not just for its purity, but because he envisioned this exact creation for Lauren. The smaller stones came from equally rare origins. Together, they weren't merely decoration. They were a declaration of dominance. And the comparisons came quickly. Fashion historians recalled the night Kim Kardashian wore a Parisian diamond creation jewels that became forever linked with one of the most infamous celebrity robberies. When Lauren entered the Kering Foundation dinner, her necklace blazing like a constellation, she wasn't just wearing diamonds. She was entering that same legacy. The scandals, the rivalries, the battles of influence. To the casual viewer, her necklace looked similar. But experts saw the differences instantly. Her centerpiece was larger, her cascade deeper. Every carat, every shimmer marked not just fashion, but hierarchy. In that moment, Lauren Sánchez Bezos didn't just wear wealth, she wore power. It was never announced as competition, yet everyone inside those circles understood it always existed. And on this night, Lauren made her boldest move. In this world, diamonds are never just decoration. They are shields, banner, signals, a language of arrival and belonging. So when Lauren Sánchez Bezos stepped into the spotlight wearing a necklace worth more than mansions, she wasn't flaunting ornaments. She was broadcasting identity. A silent proclamation that she was no longer background but center stage. The necklace became armor against due to translation of her evolution, from journalist to partner of a Titanto icon of her own making. To billionaires, it said membership. To the media, it said story. To rivals, it said warning. And to history, it echoed. A lineage where women have always fought battles in brilliance, from Cleopatra's emeralds to Elizabeth Taylor's diamonds, Jackie Kennedy's pearls, Princess Diana's sapphire. Lauren was stepping into that bloodline of spectacle, claiming her place with fire. Behind the glamour was a machinery of logistics that revealed its gravity. This necklace wasn't borrowed like a simple gown, it required months of negotiation. Lloyd's of London insured it not just for value, but for risk. The premium for one evening rivaled a middle-class family's yearly cost of living. Security teams were discreet, but everywhere stationed in shadow-stacking entrances and exits. The necklace itself held hidden sensors and micro-GPS monitoring its presence down to the inch. Any attempt at tampering would trigger instant alarms. What she wore was not just jewelry, it was strategy. A calculated campaign of image orchestrated with the precision of theater, politics, and war. And she didn't wear it alone. The necklace shared the stage with her $4 million engagement ring, an oval-cut diamond from Jeff Bezos, designed with symbols of her aviation past. Wing-shaped details woven into its setting, invisible to most but deeply personal to her. Together, the two creations sang in duet. The ring spoke of private bond, the necklace of public dominance, love and influence, romance and strategy. Bezos himself had spent months in secret collaboration with Summer Hale, scouring the world for the perfect oval stone to capture their story. To see both ring and necklace together was to witness a union that merged personal devotion with political performance. Every step through the Kering Foundation dinner was layered gesture as choreography, glance as statement. This was not spontaneity. It was theater rehearsed to perfection. But beyond the jewels, beyond the blaze of white fire, something larger was in motion. Lauren Sánchez Bezos was speaking in the coded language of billionaires, a language outsiders rarely glimpse. Status, she showed, is not only about money, it's about timing, access, influence, the ability to command attention without asking. She had studied the women before her, learned their lessons, and was now drafting her own chapter. The necklace was the star, but the gown was the frame. Without the perfect frame, even the brightest diamond risks being overlooked. Lauren chose a strapless, gold gown from Schiaparelli, a house woven into fashion history since the 1930s. Its cut deliberately exposed her neckline, turning her diamonds into the centerpiece of the stage. The gown shimmered without competing, catching light in harmony with the necklace. It wasn't just a dress. It was architecture designed to lift the jewels into legend. The preparation for this gown stretched over weeks. Necklines lowered millimeter by millimeter to find balance. Shades of gold tested under every light until the perfect tone was chosen. The length calibrated so photographers could capture sweeping frames. Schiaparelli's creative director himself oversaw the fittings, knowing the images would travel the globe. The house, long tied to bold and surreal couture, had always dressed women who played fearlessly with identity and power. By wearing Schiaparelli, Lauren wasn't choosing safety, she was choosing legacy. Declaring that her transformation into global icon would be avant-garde, fearless, uncompromising. Every detail was couture precision, seams stitched by master hands, techniques passed down through generations. Fabric tested under flash photography to ensure brilliance never warped under lights. Even the shoes mattered. She chose Jimmy Choo heels, subtle compared to the jewelry, yet essential for balance. The heels elevated her stance, corrected posture, allowed her to glide with grace without ever stealing focus from diamonds. This was no casual ensemble. It was a composition. Every element, jewels, gown, shoes, gestures, an instrument in a symphony of power. Her team had choreographed it, understanding that this dinner was no mere event. It was a stage. And on that stage, Lauren Sánchez Bezos didn't just appear, she performed. It was more than an appearance. It was a stage set for Lauren Sánchez Bezos to assert that she was no longer just a journalist, no longer merely a partner. She had become an icon of wealth, influence, and power. The choreography extended beyond gown and jewels, it extended to timing itself. Her arrival was a masterclass in strategy, late enough to draw all eyes yet early enough to avoid overshadowing other luminaries. Every step through the venue was mapped to catch the architectural light-sheer path, guiding cameras toward the ideal angles. Each gesture was deliberate yet effortless, designed to convey confidence, grace, warmth, and authority. Lauren had perfected the art of presence, blending instinct with performance. The Kering Foundation dinner stood as one of the highlights of New York Fashion Week, and she knew the schedule perfectly. Earlier that week, she had attended a private Chanel dinner at the Doubles Club, surrounded by tastemakers and insiders. That event whispered her credibility to the fashion elite. But the Kering Foundation dinner was different. This was the stage for mass attention. This was where headlines would be written, social feeds would ignite, and public perception would be shaped. Her appearances were not random. They were calculated. One event for credibility, another for visibility, together forming the crescendo of her transformation. Observers noticed the pattern, the measured pacing, the selectivity. Too much presence dilutes impact. The right moments sharpen it. Billionaire society operates under invisible rules. Wealth alone is entry. Influence is currency. And influence is forged through jewelry couture curated appearances and strategic alliances. Every detail, her necklace, her gown, her timing spoke fluently in this silent language. To rivals, she dazzled. To allies, she signaled alignment. Every audience received a distinct message delivered simultaneously. In modern celebrity strategy, one moment can serve countless purposes, an image dissected by tabloids, analyzed at private dinners, critiqued by stylists, studied by rivals, yet remembered by millions. Security mirrored this choreography. Former Secret Service agents blended discreetly into the room. Additional personnel monitored entrances, exits, and surrounding streets. Surveillance systems were upgraded for the night. The necklace itself was a marvel of safety. Embedded GPS tracking, microscopic sensors, and tamper alerts fed directly to a command center. Pure luxury met defense beauty, fortified diamonds paired with algorithms and satellites. In this era of extreme wealth, appearance and protection go hand in hand. Beyond security, couture, and logistics, the story was transformation. Once, a journalist, Lauren Sánchez Bezos, now commanded global attention, no longer in Jeff Bezos' shadow, but fully in her own light. The Caring Foundation dinner became her declaration. She was writing her own myth, consciously shaping memory and narrative. History echoes with moments like these: Jackie Kennedy descending from airplanes in her pillbox, hat Princess Diana, in sapphire blue Elizabeth Taylor unveiling diamonds. Each act carefully constructed, remembered long after the event. Lauren's necklace and gown now join this lineage, a spectacle designed not merely for the present room, but for the story that would unfold worldwide. Fashion Week is never just clothing. It is narrative, hierarchy, and timing. Who arrives, who is seen, who commands cameras, all matters. Lauren aligned every move with these unspoken rules. She did not scatter her presence. She focused it like a laser, reflecting attention precisely where it mattered. Jewelry of this caliber does more than dazzle, it defines distance, conveys entry requirements, and signals mastery. With her necklace, gown, and ring, Lauren orchestrated perceptions, sculpting how the world saw her and how history would remember her. In this game of visibility and memory, she was building legacy. Headlines would endure. Archives would immortalize her presence. Images become legend. One evening becomes myth. The Caring Foundation dinner was that night for Lauren Sánchez Bezos. The night she stepped from partner into icon, from presence into spectacle, from supporting role into center stage. The result was undeniable. Cameras followed her relentlessly. Her images circulated across fashion publications, social media feeds, and tabloid spreads. Every detail, from the value of her necklace to the cut of her gown to the orchestration of her arrival, was dissected. Some called it ostentation, others saw strategy. Some saw extravagance, others mastery of image. Yet everyone saw her. And that was the point. In the world of fame and power, visibility is oxygen. Lauren had ensured she would not just be seen, she would be unforgettable. In Paris, beneath the chandeliers of the Couture salon, the world seemed to pause. Diamonds bounced light like tiny stars, the necklace transforming her presence into a gravitational force. This was no mere accessory. It was a manifesto, a declaration of ambition, status, and arrival at society's highest echelons. Each stone carried meaning, every carat telling a story of reinvention and resilience. Lauren had journeyed from regional TV anchor to helicopter palato media personality to the partner of one of the richest men alive. And now, with every glimmer, she was rewriting her identity in real time in front of the cameras and critics alike. The necklace was theater power politics, staged in velvet and light. Diamonds have always signaled more than beauty. They've conveyed dynasties, influence, wars, and fortunes. By placing this creation against her collarbone, Lauren aligned herself with a lineage stretching from Elizabeth Taylor's Cartier diamonds to Princess Diana's sapphire ring to Marilyn Monroe's whispered glamour. She was not wearing jewelry. She was entering a conversation about power itself. Paparazzi lenses captured every angle, amplifying its radiance. Digital feeds ignited. Coverage of Couture Week became the coronation of Lauren Sánchez as a woman fluent in the language of modern celebrity. The necklace became the defining image of the season. Analysts noted how it transformed her silhouette. The deep neckline of her gown created a canvas. The diamonds became brushstrokes, commanding every gaze in the room. This was intentional fashion at its peak, not about comfort, not subtlety, but about creating an unforgettable moment. Critics who once dismissed her as simply Jeff Bezos' partner now wrote about her audacity, her instincts, and how she had reframed a couture entrance into a statement of independence. In luxury circles, the necklace was armor, a weapon projecting dominance while shielding her from irrelevance. Whispers filled the salon. Who designed it? How many carats? What security measures accompanied it? The mystery amplified the myth. Classic celebrity strategy: reveal enough to mesmerize, withhold enough to intrigue. History shows jewelry carries weight. Cleopatra wore emeralds to project power. Marie Antoinette used pearls and diamonds to deflect whispers. Jackie Kennedy shaped elegance through her jewels. Now Lauren Sánchez entered that lineage not with subtle pearls, but with unapologetic brilliance in an era where spectacle is currency. The necklace was designed not just for one night, but to echo through media cycles. Every repost, editorial, and zoomed-in photo sustained her relevance, her legend. Lauren had discovered the formula: one image endlessly amplified. Every greeting, every glance, every photograph carried the weight of its sparkle. It was not merely adorning hair, it was broadcasting her ascent. Lauren Sánchez Bezos was no longer in someone else's shadow. She stood in full light, the diamonds, her crown, her weapon, her declaration. In patience and brilliance, she transformed every critic into witness, every headline into a reflection of her rise. She understood the oldest language of power: beauty, spectacle, and permanence. Stones endure where whispers fade. Brilliance outlasts scandal. One night was enough. Lauren crossed the threshold. She was no longer attending fashion, she was shaping its memory. She was no longer beside wealth, she embodied it. And beneath the flash of cameras, the diamonds sealed her transformation forever. Please subscribe for more unique and attractive stories.